Hey everyone, welcome to a solo shoutcast. My name is Drybear and today we'll be bringing you the semifinals from the myRevenge Cup number 7 between Juice Gaming and Procore Gaming. And what's interesting about this match is these are the two teams that we saw in the finals of the myRevenge Cup number 6. Juice Gaming beat out Procore Gaming in the last myRevenge Cup to become the champions of myRevenge Cup number 6. So definitely a lot to prove here and a bit of a boiled blood from both these teams. So we'll see what can happen here. Procore Gaming has something to prove here, and this is a best of one single elimination. The winner of this one, there are two brackets going on currently. There's this bracket and then semifinals from the other bracket, and the winners from both semifinals will go to the finals to face off in a best of 3. So this is a single elimination. The loser here will be knocked down into consolation ladder to face off the other losers in the other semifinal bracket. So we'll see what can come out here. First, before the game starts, let's see who's playing what. For Juice, we're gonna have Shing playing Thor in the right lane with his lane mate Bacchus, played by Matty Pocket. In the mid lane, we're going to have Juice Derby playing an Ao Kuang, and this is very interesting to see because so far in myRevenge Cup number 7, we have not seen an effective Ao Kuang play coming out from any of the players. Most often, they just get dominated in the mid lane and get pushed out so easily. So we'll see how Derby can play this Ao Kuang effectively in this match here. Allied's going to be playing Sobek with his lane partner Lassus on some Wukong, and again, we've seen time and time again Wukong do some incredible damage outputs and putting in so much effectiveness into the team fight that it's difficult for people to deal with the fact that Wukong is highly mobile, high damage output, and great team fight presence with his ultimate Year of the Monkey. So we'll see how effective this lane can be. A very awesome offensive lane between Sobek and Monkey here. So let's go ahead and check out the players for Procore Gaming. We're actually going to have Barbaric playing Agni with his lane mate Emir, played by Shadow Q. So this is a very offensive lane here with Emir initiation and the Agni. Agni is very it's actually getting played a lot in the side lanes more often now, simply because he is more sustainable but has good damage output. A lot of times, if you have a damage tank lane on the side, they get focused too much. The squishy damage dealer does. So something like a Artemis is very exposable. If they get caught by a Sobek, there's not a whole lot they can do about it. So definitely some swap out and some experimentation with some of the competitive teams here. In the mid lane, we're going to have the best playing Ra up against Jerby's Ao Kuang. And I expect Jerby to have a bit of a trouble time here in the beginning, trying to get those tornadoes down. We've seen a lot of the Ao Kuangs have trouble get those full tornadoes on the full wave, push it all the way up, and we've seen Ra's just completely. This is kind of an awkward tornado here, but it does look like he got it on the melee minions and the ranged minions here, although it's not as much push as Ra has early on, but we'll see if Jerby can pull this off. In the left lane, we're going to have Sensen playing Bastet and then Sparks on Guan Yu trying to push this up, and they need to be very, very careful here. We've seen Sobek dominate in lanes over and over again. Goes for the charge spray on top of the Guan Yu. Guan Yu going right into the Monkey. Let's see if we can do some good damage here. Taking him go. Use the creeping curse on top of Guan Yu, doing some good damage. Monkey's actually not with him, so he drops really low here. They probably could have gone for that. I'm not entirely sure why they backed off there to do the minion damage, but they definitely had an opportunity to deal with that. So it's an interesting engagement here. We've seen Sobek just completely set the pace for the lane. Bats is going to jump in, use the pounce, and bounce back right back. One of the benefits of having a Bastet is she's very difficult to pin down. She can bounce around a whole lot. In the right lane, we have some initiation. Looks like Mjolnir's attunement coming out on the Agni. They're trying to focus the Agni. Looks like Emir's taking no damage here. This is a bit of a good call here, simply because it's very easy to burn down an Agni if you can actually catch him down. And if you look at the Tectonic Rift from Thor, he can block the dash coming out from Agni. Agni's dash is a movement ability that doesn't go over objectives or obstacles in any way, so definitely some good initiation coming in from the Bastet. Bastet jumps and gets thrown even further back because she's going to pounce right back there. Again, with the pounce initiation, some good poke coming out from the Bastet. She does have the blue buff. I guess she gets charged prey by the Sobek here. Monkey jumping on top and doing some good damage. 1 hit, 2 hit. They're actually going to isolate her a little bit here. Do some good damage here. Here comes the Sickening Strike, and then gets taken out by the overhand smash by the Monkey. So definitely some excellent damage output. This is what I was talking about in the beginning. The Monkey Sobek lane is so strong and hard to deal with, and the fact that Guan Yu doesn't have any CC other than his slow, can't really counter initiate there. Gets charge prayed by the Sobek there. Overhand smash comes down on the Guan Yu, but doesn't look like they're going to have enough to take him out here. So definitely a difficult lane for Guan Yu and Bastet. Bastet gets taken out. She actually bounces out this way, but gets pushed even further back. The tail whip is so strong, and one of the reasons why Sobek is hard to deal with is not only his initiation with charge prey, but the fact that he can immediately follow up with the tail whip and prevent people from using their leaps and their dashes. It cancels all animations if you get hit by the tail whip. So it buys your team enough time to deal out some more damage in that lane. So we have some Tectonic Rift coming out for this. He uses the Aegis Amulet a little bit preemptively there. I think he should have saved that for when Thor and Balkus were level 5 to avoid the damage output coming out there. Decides to use it a little bit early there, just in case they were going to jump on him. But that could have been just nerves from the fact they're playing in the semifinals against their rivals, Juice Gaming, from the previous tournament. So here comes the Tectonic Rift. Again, Bounce comes out. They know that the Aegis Amulet is down. Here comes the Belch. The Path of Flames comes out, and the freeze on top of the Balkus to prevent that from happening. So definitely some good counter initiation coming up from Emir. This is one of the things that they don't have in the left lane is counter initiation, some counter to the fact that when they get jumped on, they can stop it with something like an Emir stun. They don't have that in the left lane. They just have a Guan Yu. So they're having a tough time with that for that reason. In the mid lane, we have Ra pushing this up. Looks like Ao Kuang ended up heading home. Ao Kuang went for a Doom Orb here, so he's going to be looking to stack that up and just farming. I expect him to play very defensively, very far back, and avoid a lot of the damage output that come, or the ganks. Looks like Guan Yu's going to come up for the damage buff. I suspect he's going to prime this for the Ra. There's no reason for a support to take a damage buff like that. Yeah, here Ra's going to clear the wave and head over to take this damage buff away from the Guan Yu. So one of the benefits of having a very good support that's very mobile is giving buffs like this. And we see a very common ward placement here. This ward allow them to see over the wall to the pathway to the Gold Fury, but it's very unlikely that it'll get counter warded here. It's in a very awkward spot. Looks like Guan Yu's going to run right into Sobek Monkey in the blue buff area. Is the blue buff up? It is not. So Monkey and Sobek are coming over here, pushing him back out. It actually just spawned, so it looks like Juice knows the cooldown timers pretty well. They have that timed exactly as they want it. Here comes the Monkey, and do they have the Hand of the Gods coming out with the Sobek? They're doing some good damage. Tactician's Vanna comes out from this Guan Yu, doing some great damage there. Tries to use the tail whip, but gets silenced instead. Going for the Monkey. Monkey's probably just going to jump out here, see if he can't do this, and decides to jump out, but runs right into the Bastet. Bastet was waiting, using the cats. Happy Needler comes out in response from the Monkey. Monkey do some good damage to the Bastet, but does decide to pursue this. He's very low on mana. The Ninetales comes out, but he uses the beads just in time to avoid the slow from the Ninetales. He still has a cat on top of him, but it's like he's getting out. But the Ra comes down. Let's see what Ra can do here. Ra's going to try and pick this off with a Searing Pain, and just barely misses it. Monkey hears it and backs off. The Creepy Curse comes out from the Guan Yu. Uses the Celestial Beam, but avoids it with the Aegis Amulet. See if we can do some damage. Ultimate comes out from the Ao Kuang, but unfortunately it gets tail whipped out of it. Outcome comes through. Here comes the Monkey overhand smash, doing some great damage. Ra's going to get picked off here in his eagerness to chase down the Monkey. Guan Yu isolated here. He gets slowed by the Lurking in the Waters. Does he have enough to get away from this? Let's see. It doesn't have any mana to Warrior's Will out. Doesn't look like. Doing some good damage to him. Is he going to get charge prayed or not? To see if Sobek decides to go for something here. Going to be really close. The Monkey trying to come in. The Ninetales goes on top. Uses the Razor Claws on top of the Monkey. Great piece of mind there coming out from the Bastet. Do some good damage to the Monkey. Monkey kind of low here. See, the Tornado comes out, but he uses the Aegis Amulet. Can Sobek do anything here? He's going to line up the charge prey, but he just barely misses it. The Squall comes out from the Ao Kuang, does some good damage there, but she's not going to drop to the Tornadoes. So definitely a huge exchange there. The Guan Yu died, the Ra died, and no one died from Juice. So at this point in the game, we're 3-0 for Juice Gaming. They're up by about 1.6k, which is a huge advantage 5.5 minutes into the game. We saw the awareness coming out from Monkey, avoiding the Searing Pain, and then jumps out with the Somersault to avoid that damage coming out there. Unfortunately, Ra got super eager, trying to take down the Monkey as he's chasing away. Turns around to find that the Ao Kuang and the Sobek were behind him, gets picked off there, and Guan Yu was a little bit too far away, got eager to chase down the Monkey as well. They're chasing that kill, the chase-kill syndrome, and it happens, and gets taken down, but they're definitely going to be playing a little more careful here as they are looking to take this game back from Juice. If we look at the ward vision coming out from Procore Gaming, they have one ward still up here. They actually put one ward inside the Gold Fury. We see some weird ward spots coming out from these players just because we want to avoid being counter-warded. If you put the ward right here in front, it's 100% likely it'll get counter-warded. It'll probably get picked from a ward like that, and it'll even get picked from wards that are close to the damage buff here. So it's a very unorthodox ward spots will prevent you from being counter-warded. Here comes an initiation from the Monkey on the left lane here, trying to get some harassment on the Bastet. And again, they're just setting the pace. You see level 6, level 7 coming up from Guan Yu and Bastet. Both level 8 on the Monkey and the Sobek. Sobek actually a little bit far up, and Monkey's not coming along here. He's going to push the wave up to give him some good minions. Initiation coming out from that, doing some good damage to the Sobek, but are they going to do anything about this? Charge Prey could be up. Here comes the overhand smash on top of the Bastet. Bastet dropping kind of low here. Happy Newer comes out, but just as the Bastet pounces out, close call there for the Bastet. Here comes the ultimate coming out from Guan Yu, doing one hit to it, but uses the Aegis Amulet just before the silence come off. The damage comes out from the Guan Yu. The cats come out. Here comes the ultimate coming out from Sobek. Sobek using Lurking in the Waters. He's going to probably deactivate this unit, just do some good damage there and harass. The cats can't keep up from the Somersault from the Monkey. He's going to back off there. So we'll see what happens. Ra just in the middle lane, trying to push this up as best as he can. Ao Kuang, let's check out the vision for Juice Gaming. They actually uncharacteristically don't have any wards up at this point in time. They probably are not looking to take any objectives. I suspect if they do make a Fire Giant or Gold Fury attempt, they'll put those wards back up. So we'll see what happens here. Initiation coming out on Amir in the right lane. He's going to use a wall to avoid that. Nothing that's going to come out there. Amir's a bit of a difficult target as his damage absorption is almost unrivaled from all the other tanks. Sobek and Amir are very good at absorbing damage there. So it looks like Sobek and Monkey are going to back off. Agni might go for initiation here. See if he can't pick off the Sobek and the Monkey in the left lane. Furious Monkey comes out doing some good damage to all these minions here, pushing this up. Agni kind of wants an opportunity. I think they do know about him. Kind of weird they're hanging back a little bit too much here. Guan Yu's going to back up. Bastet already went home. Actually, Amir gets caught at the second tier 2 tower, gets pushed back all the way back to his tier 2 tower. They're going to do some good damage here. There's no one around to defend this. Bastet heading over the right lane, trying to give him some support, but they're going to do some great damage to this tower. They're going to have to back off now. They're going to keep up the pressure, though. There's no one around. Rock kind of heading over there, but decides to back off. Amir doesn't really have anything. Look at the active items for Amir. All he has is the Heavenly Agility. He has no Hand of the Gods or anything to heal this out. He has a Glacial Strike to push down the minions, but that's about it. Here comes the Millionaire's Attunement from the Thor, doing some good damage to the wave. Uses the Berserker Barrage to take that down. Bastet comes out from behind, using the Razor Claws and the Ninetales. He uses the Aegis Amulet. Probably going to see some ultimates coming out here. Here comes the Belch coming out. The Frost Breath is a double stun, doing the damage here. Let's see, he just spins up the ultimate. Does he have enough to get out here? He's just going to get really low, but the Belly Flop prevents Bastet from taking down Thor. Thor's just going to get away. Here comes the ultimate coming out from the Bastet, trying to slow down, but uses the beads to avoid the slow from the cats, doing some good Razor Claw damage. Ultimate comes out. The Bacchus actually doing some really great damage to both Amir and Bastet. Amir's going to use the Heavenly Agility to try and back out there. Amazing response there from the Bacchus. I think if the Bacchus hadn't used the belly flop to knock Bastet up into the air, it's likely that Thor would have died there from 1 or 2 more hits. Happy comes out from the Monkey, but it's not going to hit anything at all. Here comes the Furious Monkey doing some good damage to the Thor and the Guan Yu doing some good, and the overhand smash. We've seen this time and time again, how much damage the Monkey can dish out all on his own, using the overhand smash, maxing out first, and then getting the Furious Monkey with full stacks on the Heartseeker can drop squishy players in under a few seconds with no warning whatsoever. So definitely something to look out for once you see that Monkey. Unluckily, the Happy New Year didn't land, but it wasn't going to be enough to save him there. Looks like Guan Yu saves the middle tower from Sobek's push here. The wave is getting pushed up by Ao Kuang to do a good tornado, actually split on top. I would say a really awkward tornado there, but lands on a few of the minions, misses a few. Sobek going for the damage buff here. Does he get it? Let's see if we can get some damage out. And Mir going to trap the Sobek. Does he go for a wall? Aegis Amulet coming out from the Sobek. Let's see if we can get ultimate comes out from the Ao Kuang. Going to come right down and do some great damage to all 3 of them. Does some great damage here. Sobek lurking in the waters on top of the Emir. The Guan Yu's behind him, just pretty low HP. He turns around to try to go for the Guan Yu. Is it going to be enough? He just barely gets it with lurking in the waters. Picks off the Guan Yu. Sweet Guan Yu falling down and disappearing to whence he came. A lot of damage coming out there. A great response. Great peace of mind from Jerby to throw down the Spirit's Tempest in the hallway here to hit all 3 players, doing some excellent damage. And that's where Ao Kuang really comes into play, is if he can do some good damage. Sickening Strike coming out from Sobek to heal himself back up. Bastet's a little bit squishy here. Needs to be careful. A little bit under-leveled. If we look at the numbers, we're 5 for 0 for Juice Gaming. 3,000 gold up at the 10-minute mark. So definitely still setting the pace. Some great ganks coming out. Monkey soloing the left lane, and Thor doing a split push on the right lane. Let's see if he gets caught here. Agni coming from behind. Is he still going to go for this tower? A couple more hits will do it. This tower actually drops down in the left lane. Use Mono's Instrument to take out the minions. Ignite comes out on the Thor. Thor actually is going to be a bit of trouble. Use this shit to spin up here. See if he can get out. A great reaction there coming out from Thor. Realizes that if Amir gets a Frost Breath off on him, he's likely to take a lot of damage there and might not get the spin off up. So decides to activate the ultimate, becoming immune to the stuns or any CC coming out from both Agni and Amir, and gets himself the heck out of there. In the mid lane, we have Ra and Bacchus going at it. Bacchus being a little bit careful, getting kind of tanky, but really just showing their presence here. We see the lineup is working really well. We have a mid laner with magic damage deal. Looks like Guan Yu's going to run right into Sobek. Guan Yu has a bit of a disadvantage here as far as levels and gold, so definitely not something he wants to engage upon. Bastet pushing out the left lane with the damage buff. Bastet hasn't died in a while, so she still has those stacks up. Needs to be stacking that back up. Here comes the Ninetales coming out from Bastet, doing some great damage. Sobek using the Sickening Strike and the tail do some good damage to Bastet. Bastet gets charge prayed back into the minions. Guan Yu and Monkey showing up here at the same time. Let's see if they can get some good initiation out here. Guan Yu's going to come from behind. Let's see if he has a Warrior's Will or something to do something. Bastet bounces out with the pounce. Here comes the Monkey. Goes after the overhand smash on top of the Bastet. Bounces the Furious Monkey on top of him. Sobek's going to be backing out here. See if he can't get some good push up, might go for a charge spray or something. As far as everything else on the map, there's just people farming around, so this is the place to be. Ra and Aokwang going out the mid lane. Looks like Bastet might run into Sobek and Monkey here at the blue buff. What does she do? She tries to turn around, and this is a great call here by Bastet. This is some of the subtler things that people may not notice, but definitely if you're coming through here and you run in a linear fashion away from Sobek, Sobek can easily land a charge spray coming from behind, but instead he goes here and goes around, and this way there's no line of sight for Sobek to get the charge spray off. Looks like some 1v1 tank battle in the right lane. Probably the most boring engagement. You see it. Ra gets jumped on in the middle lane, gets charge sprayed by the Sobek. Here comes the sprint coming out, but gets tail whipped into the wall. Might get blocked by the Sobek. Uses the sprint to come around, and here comes the sickening strike coming out from Sobek, using the ultimate come out from the Aokwang. Let's see, he does have the ultimate. Does he try to go for it? The tornadoes come out. He decides he's not going to go for the ultimate. Ra just backs on out here. We see some initiation in the left lane. Looks like Guan Yu. Bastet actually got picked there, so let's see if we can't back up to see what exactly happened to the Bastet. Bastet pounces away and actually gets picked by the ranged minions, unfortunately here. We have some initiation coming out. Bastet, Monkey actually getting jumped on by Guan Yu and Bastet. Bastet uses the Nine Tails on top of it. Happy Hunter comes out from the Monkey, does some good damage there, decides to run from the back here. Here comes the Aegis element coming out from the Monkey, but the Thor comes down and drops right on top of Guan Yu, uses the Tectonic Grip on top of the Bastet, does the Mjolnir's to it, but doesn't hit on the back, so we see the Duke damage coming out, and is Bastet going to get out here? Actually gets taken out by the ranged minions, and the Monkey getting kind of low here. The ultimate came out from the Guan Yu, but it wasn't going to be enough to save him. The Creeping Curse came as well. Unfortunately, they didn't expect the Thor ultimate. Ultimate coming out from the Agni, doing some great damage. Path of Flames. Here comes another ultimate coming down. Is it going to land on him? The stun does not land, thankfully for Monkey's sake. Here comes the Ignite coming down, and Thor is going to caught by the Agni and the Guan Yu in the left lane. Sobi coming from behind. Here comes the Tectonic Rift. Here comes the Million's Attunement doing some damage. Burgess' Barrage coming top on the Guan Yu. Guan Yu actually in a bit of a trouble. Charge Spray comes out from the Sobek. He gets pushed back into the wall, and Monkey and Aokwang are coming from behind. Here comes the tail up coming out from Guan Yu. Guan Yu is going to take one more hit from Thor and get dropped here. Monkey goes down with actually, it's really low here from the Ignite. Path of Flames comes out, and here comes Amir. Might be able to stun someone here. Let's see if he decides to go for this. Here comes the ultimate coming out from Sobek, and not really going to land anything there, and just backs on Alpha. Looks like Amir's just going to get out here. Nothing he can really do to help this, and actually turns around to come on back. Agni doing his best to hold this down. Looks like Monk's going to go home, and Aokwang's going to be going home. Thor and Sobek trying to back out here. Actually, Amir might run into Thor here and prevent him from backing. Goes for an attack here, but see if he can land a wall to block his retreat. Goes for the wall. Goes for the Frost Breath. This is some good damage there. Goes for the Glacial Strike, but looks like they're just going to back off. Not really going to come out there. They're both going to back together. They both know they can't really kill each other here. Amir's probably going to come over here and prime the blue buff for the Bastet to get those stacks back up. Actually, just got picked by the ranged minions in the left lane. So definitely some crazy engagement coming out here. Monkey going to run right into them. They need to be careful because Monkey is actually quite farmed at this point in the game. Furious Monkey comes out but doesn't land on top of everyone. Guan Yu got to run right into the Monkey to see if he decides to fight this. Goes after some attacks, but then backs off yet again. We've seen these players be very cautious in their choices to engage and whatnot. At this point in the game, they're very fickle as far as the engagements go. They're behind by about 4.1k. At 13.5 minutes is a lot. Frostbreath comes out on top of the Monkey. Here comes some damage coming out. Tail Whip comes out. Here comes the Tectonic Rift on top of Ra. Ra getting kind of caught here. It's a 2v2 situation. Here comes the Berserker Barrage. They're actually going to split up. Emir's kind of floating outside of it. Looks like Guan Yu's all by himself. Charge Break comes out on the Ra. Come out over here. Guan Yu's all by himself. Uses the Tectonic Advantage on top of the Aokwang and the Monkey, and he's kind of caught all by himself, surrounded. Bastet's in the back here. See what he can do. Charge through and gets caught by the belch. Anything going on over here? Nothing gets picked off. Looks like the Bastet tries to pounce out. Belly flop on top of the Guan Yu. Guan Yu's definitely going to die here. Thor ultimate comes down, and now at this point, they're kind of at a loss. They can't really keep up. They're going to be going for the Gold Fury. See if they can't keep this up. 5v4. They really need to be backing off here because they can't engage with this. Here comes the Tornadoes on top of the Gold Fury doing some great damage. Tectonic Rift actually blocks Amir's perfect escape. Motors attunement, but Frost Breath comes on top of the Monkey. Here comes the Aokwang ultimate doing some great damage. But here comes the Searing Pain to drop Thor and put Monkey at very low HP. Sobek dropping very low as well. Does not avoid the damage coming out. Last is at very low HP. Basset's going to come out here. Let's see if she can't get this. Here comes the Nine Tails to take out the Monkey in one hit, and she pounces right back out. Has the Tornadoes on top of her doing some great damage. Actually, the Sobek is taken out by the Ra. Ra trying to back up here, but this still as an Aokwang and a Bacchus doing some great damage. Celestial Beam coming up in a second here. Very low on mana. Bastet and Ra trying to defend themselves the best they can. Looks like Agni's in the back. Might run into Aokwang, do some great damage here. Ultimate comes out from the Agni. Agni in a bit of a pickle here, using the Ignite on top. Uses the Path of Flames to get out of the belch. I was expecting that to happen. I wouldn't expect him to get stunned by that. Here comes the Noxious Fumes coming out, doing some great damage. Aokwang's gonna use the Slither to go away, and the Belly Flop might buy him enough time to do it. Let's see if he goes for a Meteor here to try and take off the Aokwang. Let's see if he can land anything like here. Does he have a Meteor? He does have a Meteor. He has 1 meter to spend, and just barely misses that. A huge exchange there. A lot of deaths coming out. I think that would have been a 3-for-0 exchange for Procore Gaming. An excellent exchange. Unfortunately, the Juice was sitting here doing the Gold Fury. The Raw came from behind and used the Searing Pain right here to take down the Thor and drop the Sobek and the Monkey very, very low in HP, trying to keep them up as long as he can. And just an excellent exchange. The Juice ended up getting the Gold Fury and a huge exchange there, but we can see that Procore Gaming is one of the reasons why they did make it to the semifinals before, and the finals of myRevenge number 6 is that they're just such a great team. Definitely someone that can rival the Juice. So they actually took some great picks there at the Gold Fury. Here comes the Solar Blessing coming out. We also saw the Ao Kuang ultimate at the Gold Fury to prevent some damage coming out there. Ao Kuang dropped the ultimate and actually dropped Emir with it. Didn't hit anyone else with it. Unfortunately, for some strange reason, the Guan Yu decided to isolate these. He was keeping the front line and keeping them from engaging in the fight. But if you look at the levels, Guan Yu is level 9. He's level 9 at this point. He's 2 levels behind the support player for Juice. So he shouldn't be holding the line like that. He's not tanky enough to do that. Monkey's going to get some stacks back up as he actually ended up dying there because of the clutch Ninetales coming out from the Bastet. So some great engagements there, and a huge take back from the Procore game. But it looks like the farm is actually skewing a little bit in Juice's favor here. So we have some meeting up in the mid lane. Ao Kuang's going to push Guan Yu back a bit, trying to keep that as far back as he can. Sobek and Monkey are getting pushed in the left lane against Bastet. Bastet needs a little bit of help here. They can push this up as much as they want. Guan Yu and Emir showing up. Agni doing some good meteors in the mid lane. And we see Bacchus and Thor pushing this up yet again. We've seen them take the first tower, the tier 1 tower in the right lane quite quickly, and they're going to do the same thing here. And they're so split up at this point. And this is what you need to do. If you're going to do a split push, you can see how careful Juice is playing. The tower actually goes down here. We have Sobek sitting at tower, being very defensive. We have Ao Kuang sitting in the back of the tower, being very, very defensive. And Monkey's in the back here. So if you're going to do a split push like this, you have to be very careful you don't get outnumbered somewhere else. And that's exactly what they did. They took out this tower, both the tier 1 and the tier 2, getting some great gold advantage there. And we can see they were only 3k behind. Procore Gaming was only 3k behind before, but now they're about 5k behind, 5.3k behind. So that 2.3k advantage is going to come from the fact that they just got tower and a bunch of free farm and a lot of other locations. Basset's going to run right into Monkey here, doing some great damage. Here comes the Furious Monkey doing some great harassment there, but Basset's just going to pounce on out, trying to be as careful as she can. Looks like they're going to be going for this. We hear the passive coming out from the Monkey. Let's see if they can do something here. Here comes the Cats coming out from the Basset. A little bit of an eager initiation there. I don't know if they can do anything with this. Overhand Smash comes down on top of the Guan Yu. Guan Yu takes some great damage here. Let's see if the damage can come out. Basset's not really committing to this. Guan Yu's going to back off. Guan Yu has an ultimate, so he could go for the Tactician's advantage should he so choose to. They're doing some great pushback, but they're going to run into some minions, and Guan Yu's just dropping. Guan Yu just doesn't have the tank to deal with this. He just doesn't. It looks like Juice is actually going to be showing up from the back end here. Overhand Smash comes out from the Monkey. Monkey doing some great damage here. Basset's going to back off the best as she can. But here comes Ra doing the Divine Light. Here comes the Solar Blessing on top. Gets Charge Parade back into this. And actually, here comes the whole Juice team. The Thor ultimate comes down on top of Ra. Ra's going to get caught here by himself. Using Takedown Rift the dub to take him down. He's stuck by the ultimate of Sobek and goes for a Searing Pain, but he's not even going to be able to use the Searing Pain as a last-ditch effort to get some damage out and help his team defend this push. And you see, one of the reasons they're actually going to lose this tower here, looks like, in the mid lane we have Agni just kind of solo pushing this up. Needed to be with his team at that point. They just didn't group up in time. And we see Emir solo pushing the right lane. This is a huge mistake. I don't think there's ever a point in time where a support tank should be solo pushing like this. If you're going to have a solo pusher, it should be a physical carry who has good mobility to get himself out of situations. Look like they're actually going to lose a second tower as well over here in the left lane as Emir and Agni push this up. Agni actually going to be caught by the Monkey. Let's see if anything can happen from this. I have Agni coming from behind for the Monkey. Monkey going to go after this Agni as best he can. Let's see if he goes for a stun. Here comes, and actually ignites forward to get the stun, but lands on top with the somersault. Here comes the Path of Flames. Happy New Year comes out, does land on top of him. Uses the beads immediately to avoid it. Monkey actually has a hole here to come on through. Throws the Furious Monkey. Let's see if we can't see the Furious Monkey land on top. Bounces back to the Emir and bounces back to the Agni, but Agni uses the Aegis Amulet just in time to avoid that last hit coming out from the Furious Monkey. Does Monkey want to come through here to take this down? He might want to go for it. Does he want to go for it? He actually does not. Turns away. Bacchus is going to come right into Emir here. Monkey's going to go for the Emir. Actually going to jump past him and go for the Agni, but doesn't get there in time. Belly flop and somersault come out at the same time, trying to prevent them from escaping there, but it doesn't going to happen. Looks like Guan Yu and Sobek. Let's see if we can rewind a bit to see what's happening over here. Got Sobek and Ao Kuang running right into the Bastet, doing some great damage here. They're both low. They're going to get pinned by the Guan Yu. Standing on top of the Ao Kuang tornado is both Guan Yu and the Bastet. Some great damage coming out. Here comes the pounce. Here comes the Aegis damage from the Sobek, but is it going to be enough? Ultimate comes out from the Guan Yu. Is it going to be enough? One hit lands on top of him, but he charges away, prevents the second hit from silencing him. And here's some great harassment. See if Bastet can pounce over the wall to take these two players down. Here comes the Guan Yu. Gets tail whipped back from the Guan Yu. Does Bastet have anything? Lands the Ninetales just barely on top of the Sobek to slow him down. And then the Warrior's Will is going to come through to finish off Sobek. Does Ao Kuang get away here? Sobek split up to give Ao Kuang a chance. Looks like Guan Yu's going to be chasing this down the best that he can. I doubt that Guan Yu will be able to chase this. He doesn't have the movement speed that Ao Kuang has, especially since Ao Kuang has the boots of celerity, and Guan Yu does as well, but not as much movement speed as the slow that comes. The Monkey's going to run right into Ra here, doing some great damage. Celestial Beam comes on down. Solar Blessing comes down. Let's see if we can't do anything with this. Monkey's just going to back off. Here comes Celestial Beam, but Thor is up in the air. Let's see if Thor can land on top of this. He's going to choose his target any second now. Here he comes and lands right down on top of Ra. Does some great damage there. Does the Tectonic Rift on top of the Rod, doing the Mirror of the Tomb. Here comes Overhand Smash, doing some great damage. All of it comes out from Agni, and they split up here. Thor is caught out. Frost Breath comes on top of Thor. Here comes the Glacial Strike on top of Thor. Thor uses the Aegis ammo to avoid it. Ultimate comes out from the Agni on top of the Monkey. Guan Yu dropping kind of low here. Does Thor survive? He's getting really low, and he gets picked off by the Warrior's Will. Ninetales comes out on top of the Monkey. Monkey going to go for this. Razor Claws on top of the Monkey, and Basset's going to back off. A great call there. Could have easily been 3v1 if he did not use the second half of that pounce to get on out there. The Gold Fury is actually back up now. If we check the word vision, do we have any vision coming out from Procore Gaming? Procore Gaming does have actually no vision of the fact that they're here. They actually still have some players here, but that's about it. Juice Gaming does have a ward right in front of the Gold Fury, so they do know if there's going to be an attempt coming out there. And Ao Kuang and Bacchus going to be in the mid lane against the Amir. And the Basset are just going to back off here. If we look at the deaths, Basset hasn't died in a while, so definitely has some full stacks on that Heartseeker. Neither has the Monkey, though. The Monkey is probably getting those stacks back up after his original death at that Gold Fury. So definitely taking this game back. We look at the gold numbers now. We're still floating at about 5.6K. Coming down from the Juice leads, 5 for 10. So definitely an interesting, close game. This is definitely the semifinals, folks. If you are tuning in now for the semifinals, this is what it looks like. These two teams are battling for the main spot in the finals to try and win the tournament all together. The winner will be knocked down into the losers bracket, and the winners will be heading to the finals to try and take the myRevenge number 7 and take that title. Is it going to be Juice, guys, or is it going to be Procore Gaming, the people that lost to Juice last tournament, the myRevenge Cup number 6? So hopefully we see some more engagements here. Definitely a very close game so far. Looks like Agni might get caught here by the Monkey. Monkey coming right at the Agni. Let's see if he decides to go for this. Here comes the Furious Monkey. Overhand Smash coming down. Here comes the stun coming out from Agni, but Monkey decides to back off. Not really anything there. If Agni got caught, he had no towers to retreat to, so definitely something that he can be doing. In the right lane, we have Bastet going up against Bacchus. Is Bacchus going to realize that Bastet is here? I think he does know now. Bastet took the blue buff away from them. Bastet throws down a ward here. Going to go after the Bacchus, doing some great damage. Looks like there's an initiation in the mid lane. Ra uses Celestial Beam, and actually the Searing Pain on the mid lane trying to push that down. Doesn't really do any damage there. Bacchus going to be coming from behind. Looks like they're meeting up in the mid lane. Overhand Smash coming out from the Monkey. Monkey trying to do some great damage here to push this up. Here comes Ao Kuang Tornadoes to keep this lane pushed all the way up to the tower. Agni's again far away and pushing a lane by himself. We've seen this twice now this game where the Agni's trying to split push when objectives are going down. As right now, the Gold Fury is going to be taking an attempt by the Juice Gaming here. Basset's coming in from the back here. Bacchus belly flops on top of the Amir. The Sobek ultimate comes out. Here comes the Tectonic Rift on top of both the team. Belch comes out from the Bacchus doing some great damage. Actually does a double stun on top of Guan Yu and Amir. Jerby in the back here. Let's see what anything comes out. Here comes the ultimate coming out from Thor. The tail whip coming out from the Sobek doing some great damage to the Amir. Amir gets a Frost Breath off on top of the Ao Kuang. Ao Kuang doing some great damage with the tornadoes. Guan Yu ultimate coming down. Happy New Year comes out to interrupt. Guan Yu getting kind of low here, and so does the Amir. Amir dropping pretty low. Here comes the Ao Kuang ultimate to do some no damage to anybody. Actually doesn't hit anyone at this point. Sobek getting kind of hit here. Lands on the path lanes. Charges the charge prey out. It's Guan Yu and Bastet versus Thor and Sobek. Here comes Ao Kuang doing some great damage with the squall there, and Sobek getting really, really low. Monkey in the back decides not to go for the Ao Kuang. Berserker Barrage coming out from the Thor doing some great damage to Tower Assault on the Guan Yu. Bulwark of Hope pops on the Guan Yu, but is it going to be enough? Looks like he's actually going to drop here to the damage coming out from Monkey. The Tornado comes out. Here comes the Celestial Beam doing some great damage. Going to drop on top of all of them. Here comes the Somersault coming out from the Monkey, dropping on top of them. Here comes the Somersault coming, and the the each damage used by the Ra, but I don't see Ra getting out of this. Here comes the Celestial Beam just in time to try to take this down, but just barely hits the Ao Kuang, but not hitting anyone else, and they're all dropping so low here. Here comes the Bastet from behind. If she can get a Razor Claws on this, she might get a triple kill or a double kill. Here comes the Storm coming out from Ao Kuang. Monkey just barely gets out there with the Somersault, and the Bastet's actually in a bit of a pickle. Tries to go for the Thor, but the Thor is going to drop to the Agni. Agni just needs one more hit to take him down. Ao Kuang from behind uses a Squall, uses the Aegis Amulet. Thor's going to survive here. Is Ao Kuang going to be able to take this out? Looks like he goes for a stun on top of the Agni. Agni getting really low. Here's the Belch to take him down, and everyone dies. Look at the HP numbers. Look at all of these. Look at Thor. Thor got one hit left, and we see a huge 5-for-0 for Juice Gaming. Unfortunately, everyone was so scattered during that fight for Procore Gaming. Didn't take down anyone at all. Guan Yu was in the back, got caught first. The Amir wasn't even there to use his ultimate, got dropped pretty quickly. The Bastet didn't really commit until the very end. Really needed to be there for his team. I think one of the reasons why they were so low without any deaths is Bastet wasn't there the entire time to help out. Frost Breath coming out from the air. So we see again another Gold Fury take for the Juice and another wipe. They were able to defend it the first time, but this time they actually got a 5-for-0 exchange, and we're at a 15-5 at the 23-minute mark for Juice Gaming, where they're up by about 9k or so, a little bit less than that. So definitely a huge advantage for Juice Gaming, and that's going to put Procore Gaming in a very difficult situation. They need to be able to play a lot more defensively and group up a lot more quickly. We've seen Agni sit in the side lanes and solo push by himself. Actually, we're going to get caught here by the Amir. Amir uses the beast to try and stop the slow that's going to come out, and Monkey doesn't even want to commit to this. Let's see if they want to. Overhand Smash comes out from the Monkey, but they're just going to back off here. Amir's a little bit too tanky for their tastes. But we just see Agni solo pushing by himself, and then we see Amir showing up at late times, and just a few minor issues that all add up to a greater whole. They just can't really take the decisive win, and they're not sticking together enough to take down a good team fight here. Looks like we're going to have to see a Fire Giant attempt coming out from Juice Gaming. Tornadoes come out on top of this. Thor coming in from behind to do some Moino's attunement on top of that. But do they know about it? Looks like Ra's going to run right into it. They actually did not know about this Fire Giant until Ra just came in here. Ra's going to go for the steal. Uses the Celestial Beam. Does he go for the Searing Pain as well? Searing Pain comes out, but it doesn't steal it. Happier comes out for the Monkey, and Ra gets taken low here. Uses the Aegis Amulet, but I don't see him coming out of this alive. Gets one kick from the Monkey. Gets taken out. So now they get a free kill, and they get the Fire Giant buff. That was a little bit too eager from the Ra there. A lot of players, we've seen this time and time again, they walk in on a Fire Giant, they didn't realize what's happening, and they try to make the best of it by going after the Fire Giant. A lot of times it's best just to back off and let them have the buff, and then fall into a period of 5 to 10 minutes of turtling and defensive play to not lose anything. But Ra just goes for the steal, and even if he got the steal and got the, he probably would have been good for him, but I don't think he timed it a little bit. The Searing Pain came out a little bit late. What he was going for, I think, is that if he got killed before the Searing Pain came off, he probably would have not been able to do anything, so he wanted to get it off before his health got too low. So he primed it a little bit early, and he's hoping Celestial Beam would do more damage than it did, but unfortunately he gets taken down there. Losing a free kill and the Fire Giant is a huge loss for Procore Gaming. They're actually getting some good gold farm up. They're only behind by about 7k now at 25-minute mark, going to the 26-minute mark. So definitely a very exciting game thus far. Here comes the Ninetales coming out from Bastet, and actually, whoa! Emir gets dropped almost immediately. Thor goes for the ultimate. Thor goes for the ultimate. See if he tries to scout, and the Path of Flames comes out just in time. Let's back up just a little bit to see if Thor can get away from this. To see the damage that comes out, he dropped almost immediately. The belly flop comes out, drops kind of low. Monkey goes for it and gets double hit by the Monkey and gets dropped immediately. And that is the damage that Monkey can dish out, folks. Even a tank like Amir can get dropped, although he's underfarmed. Once again, we see Agni in his state of mind to avoid that Thor ultimate. Excellent play there by Barbaric, realizing that Thor ultimate was coming down to avoid. Ninetales comes out, but does not land on top of anyone. No slows. Razor Claws actually used the Tectonic Rift on top of the Bastet. Bastet getting very minimal damage from that Mjolnir's attunement. Sobek's just going to dash out here, but they lose the tower in the mid lane in the same fashion. So we see Ra drop down at the Fire Giant. We see Amir get picked off right behind the mid lane. They get the Fire Giant, and then they get the mid lane tower, and it's just blow after blow after blow, falling behind quite significantly. They're behind by about 9,000 gold at the 26.5-minute mark, 17-5 for Procore Gaming. And we see the damage from the items. We have a stacking item. We have Warlock Sash, Doom Orb, Gem of Isolation, and the Rod of Tahuti coming out from Ao Kuang. We see Agni just now finishing his Rod of Tahuti, so he's going to start doing more damage there. Bulwark of Hope coming out on both the Guan Yu and the Amir. We see the standard build coming out from Bastet. Ultimate coming out from the Ao Kuang. Actually does not hit anybody. Here comes the Celestial Beam. Sobek doing some great damage here. Here comes the Tornado coming out, but does not land on top of anyone. They're diving inside the base. This is a very risky build here. And Sobek actually going to come behind here, trying to go after the Amir. Amir, a great wall there to keep Sobek trapped inside the base, doing some great damage. 3v1. Ra's actually not going for the Sobek. He should be taking this out. This is a free kill for them. And, oh, Agni's going to get jumped on by the monkey. Does he take him down? Happy New Year comes out, doing some great damage. Here comes the overhand smash, but uses the Aegis damage clutch again. We see Barbek with the amazing reaction times, but is it going to save him? It's not. He gets dropped down. The Ra trying to defend him. Throws down the Divine Light and the Celestial Beam there. And here comes the Berserker Brush coming out from Thor. And Thor actually doesn't go in there. Monkey tries to go in. Monkey getting kind of low. Gets jumped on by the Minotaur. Do they have enough to take this? Actually, 2 more hits will do it. 1 more hit will do it. Can the Mo? He just barely goes around the corner and avoids that. If you're out of line of sight, he doesn't take damage. So great piece of mind there coming out from Lassus on the Monkey to cut this corner as tight as he can to avoid that last hit from the Minotaur and save his own life. It would have been a huge loss for him if he had to avoid and get those Heartseeker stacks back up. Here comes the Glacial Strike. Actually uses the beads immediately on the Thor to avoid that stun. And Bacchus can come from behind. Goes for the belly flop. Tectonic Rift on top of that. Uses the ultimate from the Bacchus, but Bacchus is going to run right into Ra here. Let's see if Ra gets stunned by this Belch. Belch comes out, only stuns the Amir. Here comes the Talu Assault coming out from the Guan Yu. And a big chase is going to start here. Looks like the sprint comes out. Is he going to be able to do this? That's slow. They have no slows on top of the Bacchus. Here comes the Celestial Beam. Is it going to hit him? It's going to do some decent damage to him, but not a whole lot. Guan Yu chasing this down. Let's see if they can get this. The slow comes out. Frost Breath comes out. Here comes the Glacial Spike. Uses the beads just in time. And here comes Sobek trying to defend him up. Sobek might be chasing this down. Here comes the Monkey. And the wall comes out from the Amir. Oh, Monkey uses it. And here comes the Thor Ultimate. The Thor Ultimate just from behind Tectonic Rift. Thor actually did not go home. Here comes the Ultimate coming out from Amir. Is it going to hit anybody? Uses the Mjolnir to teleport out. And Aegis Image comes out from the Monkey. Guan Yu's using his Ultimate. Ultimate comes out from the Ao Kuang and drops Guan Yu. It's a 4v1, great wall there, but the Somersault comes out. Frost Breath just in time. Double play there coming out from the Amir. Let's see if Amir can make it out here. He's going to be coming in hot pursuit. Uses the Heavenly Agility. Here comes the Squall. Does not land. Does not get that slow there. The wall coming out, but Monkey's going to go for the cut. Goes for the cut. Cuts him off here. Amir tries to go out. Over smash. Takes him down. And the damage coming out from a Monkey is still so hard. It's just the damage is so great from the Monkey. The mobility, the farm potential, everything. The ultimate during team fights is just so good for the Monkey that even tanks like Amir, although he is underfarmed, can't deal with it. We saw him drop over here in the last team fight, and again, just a great response there. And it's amazing to see Thor actually was heading home. He was backing on the side of the map. I'm not going to back up that far to show you, but Thor was heading home. He was backing up, but decided that he was just going to stay ultimate and land on top, and actually got a double kill out of that. Triple kill, actually. Guan Yu, Amir, and all of them dropped there. Bastet coming out, trying to defend as best they can, but it looks like the Minotaur is going to drop there. And again, we see another decisive victory coming out from Juice Gaming. An exciting semifinals, and Procore Gaming again gets stomped by the Juice Gaming steamroll that is the Steam team here. And it's just amazing to see what they can really pull off. The Juice Gaming set the pace in the beginning. They got some really great initiations, and I would say that the only reason that the Juice is having such an easy time with these tournaments is the fact that they're just so coordinated and they're so well put together. We see Agni pushing the mid lane. We see Amir pushing the right lane. Agni again soloing the left lane. They're not together enough. There's not enough cohesion there to prevent those pushes. The team fights are just so much more tight-knit for Juice than on the Procore Gaming side, so definitely some issues there. We saw so the Guan Yu is so underfarmed and so underleveled, but still tries to play a tank role and dash out in the back and gets taken out. I think a huge mistake there was Bastet on one of those Gold Fury fights, not committing enough to do some good damage. He came in at the last second to try and help him out, but he should have been there the entire time. And we see some actually a surprising game coming out from Derby with the Ao Kuang. We haven't really seen any good Ao Kuangs in this tournament thus far, but definitely some great play coming out from Derby. We can see the effectiveness of a properly played Ao Kuang. You see he played very defensive. Ao Kuang was never really in any of the fights. He sat on the edges and hit himself well, so he was never really targeted, and made sure to land some really good tornadoes on them. And then we got the opportunity in an alleyway or something like that, can drop down the Spirit's Tempest and do some great damage output to drop them low enough. And once a big ultimate like that comes down on at least 2 or 3 players, then the enemy team is forced to retreat because their health is so low. And once you put them on that back foot, you can easily make that final push to get some picks and get some kills and take that team fight. And it's just amazing to see what Juice can do. So now we're going to see Juice Gaming in the finals. Procore is now eliminated, and they're going to go down into the losers bracket to face the losers of the opposite semifinals on the opposite bracket, and we're going to see who's going to win the opposite side. In the semifinals for the other bracket, we have myRevenge EU and Borderland Gaming that's going on right now, so we'll see if Borderland Gaming can win that out, or if myRevenge EU can definitely face off against their enemies, Juice Gaming. And either way, they're going to be knocked down into the consolation ladder with Procore Gaming, whoever loses that game, and will fight for 3rd and 4th place. As always, my name is Drybear. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and definitely give me some feedback. I know I kind of ran out of breath a bunch of times, and I had to take a drink in the middle there. I'm definitely doing as much practice as I can to get as good at this. I'm definitely feeling like I'm getting better at this, so keep the feedback up. Keep giving me those comments, and I like to improve. And as always, thanks for tuning in, and I appreciate your views, and I look forward to seeing you in my next Shoutcast.